Hey everyone, Marsh from Consequence here. Back with the guide for the second boss, Terros. Really like a, like a DPS check boss, patchwork style. There's very limited mechanics, but they're all extremely punishing, and the enrage timer probably will have to come into or will come into play in Mythic, especially for the guilds killing it the first week. So, instead of going over the mechanics like one by one, I think it might be easier if I play a video and kind of talk about the ideas and the strategy. Now, this was tested multiple times. This is from our first
Probably.
test, which we killed it. They've changed a few things. So, the first thing they changed is a circle here. The way it currently works is all the players who are in it reduce the damage of the whole raid. So, if 15 players are in it, the whole raid would get affected by X amount of damage. If 20 players are in it, the whole raid will be affected by less damage than 15 players. So we'll do damage to the whole raid, and it will be less the amount of players that are in the circle. The other thing you notice is these little yellow things over our heads here in the testing. These will drop pillars, and the tank frontals will clear the pillars, causing raid damage. Um, so these it really will depend on tuning. As you see here, we killed all in mythic testing. I believe that was five. It was four or five. I don't remember, but I think it was five. So we killed all the pillars. Now you're gonna want to coordinate with your healers. Um, you know, maybe do or maybe doing a 3-hit or 4-hit would be better. The general like rules we used, and we planned to kill all the pillars off the rip here because Lust was rolling. But the general rule we had was just um, we tried like melee go right, range go left with the drops and things like that. But it's actually pretty easy to just see what you have and see if you can line up a few. And if you know, as like if you're getting targeted and you know that your raid doesn't want to take like a 6 or 7 hit, two people just step out. It's really easy. And the tanks actually have a lot of control on like how many they can hit. It's kind of deceiving how much control they actually have over the fight. One thing I didn't touch on here is this positioning. So see how this knocks you back? Um, you're gonna want to give tanks enough room to like stand here and not get knocked back without screwing up their positioning. So you want to give them like a little sliver around the boss. This is too far back. It could be like up here, but that's the idea because you still want to be in your melee still need to get in, but your tanks may not want to for positioning purposes. So you can see here we marked around the room on where the debris is going to come. Now it'll just target a player and then it'll take in chunks from that targeted player. Um, and this is the other mechanic. So we were using a weak aura eventually, but everyone in the raid will get marked. This might be a mythic mechanic only, but we can talk about it now, I guess. And all you have to do is touch another player. So you see it on their frames here. You touch another player, it clears. And then it causes a circle that you step out of. Very important that you step out of it. Um, and in the raid, I was saying like you guys need to find each other if there's like 2 or 4 people lingering. Also note if someone dies, then you can still clear on their body. If you cannot clear, like they're in, they fell down or something like that, or like there was some weird bug with a triple clear. I think that happened a few times. The person just holds the dot for a while until like the next set comes out. Uh, it doesn't do like crazy amount of damage, but that's something to note. Other than that, you move around the room, um, and here we're kind of just chilling, stopping damage, just seeing what's happening. But one thing to note is when he takes off a section of the room, he's going to kill any pillars in that section. Um, Also, if you're having troubles with enrage, you want to step in the old stuff so you don't get hit by the frontal, and that'll help you live longer. Other than that, obviously this is pure single target. A lot of throughput is really good for your healers, just like pure throughput. And um, really think that's everything. One thing actually to talk about that we kind of struggled with a little is when you drop the pillars off, um, you it's going to knock you back. So you want to face in a direction where you can like get out of other pillars if that makes sense. So like sometimes what's happening to players is they would get stuck in between like a few pillars and they would struggle to get out until the tank funnel hit them and then they died. So ways to combat that is you face a direction where you get knocked back and you're safe. What we ended up doing in the second mythic testing is gripping players. We had two priests or three priests, and we ended up just gripping certain players who needed attention. Either the player, the player with the circle, or player going into a bad spot with the drop, or something like that. You want to grip them. And just to actually reiterate, the circle causes more problems than the dropping. Both can cause problems. So yeah, we drop the circle and then grab the player. Other than that, extremely easy boss in terms of mechanically. I don't think any guilds will struggle on it with heroic. Should down it in a few pulls. And that's really all I got. So good luck everyone and peace out.